Full Moon Pictures invites you to a house party. So come on in, grab yourself a drink, have a smoke, play a game, and scream. Gather around to hear the cast and crew tell their tales of mayhem. And bring you one step closer to horror. Witchouse.
Oh, our lovely hostess.
Woo!
Oh, you go, girl.
Whoa, is this a costume party or what?
No, I just threw this old thing on. But I'm sure you'll discover that it sort of fits the theme of my little party. Okay, she pretends to be friends with these fellow college students, and she invites them over, and her little scheme is to kill them all, to get revenge for her family, because the ancestors of these other college students killed Lilith.
Silence, witch!
Thou hast been accused of the crime of witchcraft.
We, the goodly servants of the Lord, the elders of the township of Dunwich, sentence thee, Lilith of Fae, to be burned at the stake and condemned to eternal damnation.
Lilith is this witch who was burned at the stake, and she wants to come back and get revenge on the people that wronged her. And one of her ancestors, Elizabeth, brings her back from hell. So she's basically just an instrument of evil to kill everybody.
Give me the power.
Hello, my dear long-lost Lilith.
It's nice to see the families kept up with tradition.
We set the stage for the rest of the movie. It was kind of like a preamble of what was about to happen, set up the circumstances, and we were killed off early, but it kind of showed who was doing the killing, what was going on. I mean, look at this. This is going to be a blast. We're partying down at the old haunted house.
My character, she does get to be kind of mysterious. And how it has a history to it. I think it's real important to keep the history to it, because there was the witches and the goblins or demons or whatever you want to call them, way back yonder. And then later on in the future, it comes back, and basically it's a story with another story. You know, they say the original LaFay family had this mansion shipped, brick by brick, slab by stone slab, to Massachusetts from their estate in France, back in the early 1600s.
No shit. Why would they want to do something like that?
Well, I suspect Elizabeth's ancestors came to the New World for the same reason the Pilgrims did, to escape religious persecution.
Jack's he's kind of a quiet type. He's very thoughtful. He's a listener, an observer. Very interesting in that way. You do get to see a lot more of him, but I think that he changes in the course of the script, which is nice. But he's a thoughtful guy, and I think that's where he gets his intelligence from. He's not so much a book-smart guy, but he's smart in his listening abilities.
Handedness. What's handedness?
Well, it's not a football term.
It refers to the left hand and all the superstition that surrounds it. Many cultures believe the left hand is a symbol of evil, and that left-handed people are servants of the devil. That kind of thing.
Sounds pretty messed up to me.
She goes to a party with her boyfriend, and she really likes this guy. She's a little possessive about him. They kind of tend to wander away from the party at some point during the evening to go upstairs. And while they're upstairs, some interesting things happen to them. And they change, they get turned into demons. And then they begin terrorizing the other guests at the party.
My favorite aspect of it was that I get to turn into a demon. You know, for me, it's the first time I had the chance to get into something a bit evil, and I mean, that was a lot of fun. So.
It's your destiny, Maria Darrow. You pay for the past.
They never really explained the reason for why some demons were demons and some demons were not. You know, who was picked by the evil to be demons and who was cast aside. It never really dawned on me, of course, until we got there, and I started seeing the special effects being done, the makeup, that I was being excluded.
You're not joining us?
You know what? I think I'm just going to stand over here and watch. Seances aren't my thing.
It didn't bother me much after that, because we had the scene, the night shoot, the night exterior on the cross. So that was my special scene, if you will. So I took that as my special effects, and I went away with that.
Somebody wake me up! When I ripped my face off at the burning at the stake, I didn't actually rip my face off. I just, you know, put my hand up to my face and then jerked it down so that they could get a shot of my hand jerking down. But I didn't actually have the special effects makeup. That was actually a dummy, I think.
There was one of the grips that were there had to actually do the knife raising. So instead of envisioning her actually coming to kill us or actually seeing her visually doing it, you know, it was more like we were just watching someone else do it. We never got a chance to actually, you know, meet up with her on that.
Oh my God! Stop! I get to be a demon, so I spent 4 hours getting into makeup, which was fun. It was a little bit cold. The spray paint was really, really cold.
We started with contact lenses, which were black, and the worst for me, that was the worst part of the makeup for me, because I really don't like anything around my eyes. Even before all the makeup was on, looking in the mirror with the contacts, and you've got black eyes, and you know, your eyes really define who you are, so it's like, that right there was like a whole nother person, just the contacts alone. And then basically we put an appliance like from here to here, and brought out my brow a little more, and put a lot of makeup over top of that to blend it in, and finished it with airbrushing, which was, it was probably the second worst of the process, because you have to hold your breath, you don't want to breathe in the fumes. And
she turned around and I looked at her. Immediately I had this turning in my stomach, and I was just like, oh my God. Knowing, of course, that I've got to kiss her and she's got these teeth in.
And I've got this nasty tasting, like, food coloring in my mouth, and everything's black.
Gross. Because all I can feel is these teeth, these fake teeth, sticking into my lips and sticking into my mouth.
We one of the most horrific kissing scenes in all film history.
Who are you?
I'm your destiny, Brad Peyton. I told your ancestors I would return. And I have. And I've waited oh so very long for your kiss.
The head ripping off was very interesting.
Don't lose your head.
We actually, the actor who had his head ripped off, when I did that scene, he wasn't there. We had the dummy person with the head that was already able to come off, and they put a blood pipe through it, so when we pulled the head off, the blood would be pumped through and spray everywhere.
And I felt so bad for the guy wearing it because he was drenched in blood. I felt sorry for Marissa also, because the director held a Hudson sprayer full of blood and just sprayed it in her face.
Sprayed it directly on me, up and down. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to look evil, and there's blood in my eyes, and this blood has soap in it. So I'm starting to get tears coming down my face while I'm screaming and laughing, and that was interesting. Just being sprayed and covered with blood, and I almost froze. I'm going, what am I doing? And we could only do the take once.
Well, the thing that I noticed right away is the sets were just amazing. The dungeons that we were in, the whole entire the witch house per se, everything was done so well. It was really, you were walking into a dungeon. You know, you're walking into these scenes, and it was so lifelike. From little skeletons on the side to cobwebs to everything was exactly like a dungeon, which was we thought very, 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 very well done.
The setting itself, being in Romania, it just added that much more mystery to the film. When we do these kind of spooky scenes or more scary, scenes that were revolving around the supernatural, we'd then walk off set and go outside, and we'd be in the middle of Romania.
The mood was very, very much subdued and really into the evil part of it.
Because we were on location, when we went back to the hotel after shooting all day, we were all still together. So it's like going to work 24 hours a day. You were with the entire cast the whole time, and everyone's talking about the film all day long, So I think the work ethic and the concentration on the film was greatly increased by being on location, because we didn't worry about things that were going on at home.
Being here, being removed from our daily lives, and I think that really, really helped.
That won't help you for long, Jackie. You know that, don't you?
I hate horror films. They scare me to death. I'm not good at watching horror films. I really get freaked out. Like The Shine really did a number on me. I'm so scared.
I think horror movies in general, they're very cliched, a lot of cheese in horror movie. You watch a horror movie, you know a lot of people are gonna die.
Making horror movies for me is like a childhood dream, because I was literally, from the day I was brought out of the hospital, every weekend, my mother, as sick as she is, used to drag me to the drive-in to watch horror films. I was the only one that would watch them with her. So this little kid, all through growing up, the nightmares I had.
Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it.
Oh, there better be a witch house too. I mean, you can resurrect. I don't care how many ways you kill a villain. They can always be resurrected. I want to play Lilith again.
Now come on in and experience the terror of Witchouse, if you dare.